Hey everybody, this is Anthony from A.W.O Comics. I got Willie Moe here, and we're fixing to do our next top 10 video. And you know, our top 10 videos have become like a weekly thing, and we're proud of it. The greatest top 10 of all time. Well, maybe not the greatest of all time.
No, greatest.
But we like it anyway. And this week we're going to be doing our top 10 favorite Golden Age comics. Top 10 favorite Golden Age comics, single issues.
New series we're starting on this channel. For the next top 10s, we will be planning. Here's a future schedule. We'll be planning to do Golden Age this week. Then we'll do Silver Age. And then he can explain more of it.
And then we're going to do Bronze Age. And then we'll do Copper or Modern. We'll just get to when we get to that. We'll worry about that. But this week's going to be Golden Age, and we're coming at you with that right after this.
Whoop.
Okay, we're back here getting ready to do our top 10. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to John the Comic Guy. If you have not subscribed to his channel, we'll put it up on the screen here so you can see it. This guy's a great dude. He has given us shout outs on his videos for the last 3, and he's done a few favorite covers that he owns. And the guy has a lot more great comics than what I've got. We don't own a lot of Golden Age comics, so these are not going to be comics that we own. It's just ones that we like. Maybe we'll own them one day, but I seriously doubt it will, unless you go to college and become extremely rich. I doubt we're going to own some of these.
Yeah, I guess.
So here we go. And whose week is it to start?
It's my week.
Okay. Well, give us your number 5. And again, this is Will's top 5 and my top 5, and
this is our Golden Age.
Golden Age, which means it's from the 40s to the late 50s. So.
Well, this is
or 30s,
my number.
30s.
This is my number 5. Action Comics number 23 came out the year 1940, and the key was the first appearance of Lex Luthor, which he had red hair and he wasn't bald like the actual Lex Luthor. And I like this book because, again, Lex Luthor is probably a really good villain. He's like Batman, but like the villain, like a villain version of Bruce Wayne. He makes all sorts of weaknesses he gets all sorts of kryptonite for Superman and stuff. You never heard about Lex Luthor. But this book, if it has a high grade, it goes for $35,000, which, hey, you can buy a lot of stuff with that money.
You got that in your piggy bank right now, don't you?
No.
Well, anyway, we featured this book in an earlier top 10. I think it was one of my favorite first appearance for villains. It is a really cool book. Lex Luthor looks completely different. I don't think he had quite became the sinister guy that he became to be. He was kind of developed into the arch rival of Superman.
Our number 1 Superman hater today.
Yeah. So, you know, that's a really good choice, and I think, you know, Lex Luthor nowadays is just, he is synonymous with Superman. You can't really say one without the other. So, really good choice there, Willie. My number 5 is going to be something a little bit different. It's the Lone Ranger number 1, which came out in 1939. This is the original first appearance of the Lone Ranger, and is the first appearance in a standard comic for Lone Ranger. And it's also the first Western comic featuring one single character, which was pretty cool. And this was sold as a mail-in for an ice cream company. And the stories were adapted from the Big Little books that featured Lone Ranger in the mid to late 30s. And a high-grade copy of this book is worth $6.8 thousand. So, you know, but Lone Ranger just one of my favorite things growing up. I used to love to watch the old weekly TV show. And I used to have a cassette tape that had the old radio serials in it that they played every week. And I think that's where the Lone Ranger really got his start, was in those radio programs, if I'm not mistaken. I think they came out in the early 30s, and there were several books of the Lone Ranger as well. And Tonto was also featured in this book. Just a really cool book, one that I'd like to own, and maybe one day we might get a chance to own it. We'll see.
All right. Well, my number 4 is Wiz Comics number 1. Now, this is a giant key issue. The reason why, this came out in 1940, and the reason why this is a big key issue, first appearance of Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, now, and this was also the first appearance of the Wizard Shazam, and also the first appearance of Dr. Sivana, and a bunch of other new characters. This is a key, like, this is the first introduction of all the Shazam characters, pretty much. Like, you remember everyone from the Shazam movie, if you ever watched the Shazam movie, which I thought was a really good movie, and that, basically, it's the first appearance of everyone in that, pretty much. Yeah. And the 7 Deadly Sins, all of it. And I thought it was a really cool, and I feel like it needed to be included in this, because it was a big key issue, and it deserves to be on this list.
Captain Marvel is a time-honored golden age hero. He goes back a long way. Billy Batson. I can remember owning the first edition treasury book of this Wiz Comics number 1, which was a complete actual reprint with ads and all. And you've seen these big first edition books, and it's just a really cool book. You know, it's similar to Action Comics 1 cover wise, because you got on Action Comics 1 Superman destroying the car, and I think on Wiz Comics Captain Marvel's doing the same thing. He's slinging the car. I think
he's slinging the car. Yeah.
It's kind of seemed like a theme that we had in a lot of these early comics, so just to kind of a show of strength. But I like that one as well. That's a cool one. And what did you say the number 1 copy sells for now in high grade?
Oh, I didn't say that. Thanks for reminding me. The number 1 copy sells for $301,000, and we need that money.
Well, maybe we could find one at a yard sale somewhere.
Hey, you might look in a abandoned. Remember that time where they found Action Comics number 1 in that abandoned house behind the wall?
I just don't need to let you handle it. You'd be like the guy that grabbed it and ripped a page out.
No, that was his mom.
I know.
He hated his mom his entire life. I guarantee you, whoever that was still hates his mother to this day. I could have had $1 million.
Well, I think they still wound up selling it for a pretty good bid.
It's still pretty good. I think it was like half $500,000 still. Yeah. But still, I'd be very upset. Yeah. Could have had $1 million.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking for sure. Okay, my number 4 is going to be Marvel Comics number 1, 1939, produced by Timely Comics, which later would become Marvel Comics. This is a time-honored issue. Tons of first appearances in this book. We'll read them all here. First appearance of the Human Torch, the Jim Hammond Human Torch, the original. Second appearance of the Submariner, Namor. First appearance of Dorma, Namor's cousin. First appearance of Kazar, which is David Rand. First appearance of Angel, who's a private detective and a vigilante. This book became Marvel Mystery Comics after the first issue. I was reading where I think the first edition only had like 80,000 copies that were printed, and it sold so fast they rushed and did a second print, which the way you can tell, I believe, is the date is blurted out on the first print, and it's got a new date on the second print. So the second prints, of course, are not worth as much as the first prints because they came out with 800,000 second print copies. So if you can get a first print copy, which they're all worth good money, but I believe a first print copy is worth around $1.2 million today. So just an awesome book. Probably should have it higher on my list, but the 3 that I've got ranked ahead of it, I really like them. But that's Marvel Comics number 1, produced by Timely Comics, which was later turned into Marvel Comics.
And now for the biggest book on my list that gets paid, like the biggest highest grade pay on my list. All American Comics number 16. The first appearance of the Green Lantern, Alan Scott. Now, this Green Lantern you don't really hear about a whole lot. Because, you know, they're all fixed on Hal Jordan, which basically was the Green Lantern.
He's Silver Age Green Lantern.
He's Silver Age Green Lantern, pretty much. This is the Golden Age Alan Scott Green Lantern. This is the first appearance. And this sells for a big old $400K.
Yeah, 400,000.
Yep.
Yep, that's a good book. Was that the only key? Was that the first appearance of Green Lantern?
Yes, that was
book?
the only key
Yeah.
for that
I
book.
couldn't remember. I know All American Comics used to do several stories on different characters, stuff like that. They had the
Sadly, that book,
original add-on
that
there.
issue was the only key. That was the only key for that issue.
Yeah, yeah. But now, Alan Scott Green Lantern was really cool. You had the lantern. I believe there was
He
some,
looked more like Green Arrow to me.
I believe there was some differences in the Alan Scott Green Lantern. Did he actually wear a power ring? I can't remember.
I don't.
I think he had a lantern.
I think he did, but I'm not sure.
And if you know this, I probably should have researched it. But seems like when I was younger and remembering him, seemed like he did not have. Maybe he has a power ring, but I don't think he came from the Green Lantern Corps. But now they could have updated his origin. I'm not a really big Green Lantern guy, so I don't know, but I'm sure some things have been changed.
MCU wise or DCU wise, I should say, they left that Green Lantern behind DCU wise, so he's not really talked about a whole lot anymore.
You know, the way, just to kind of a little remembrance here, the way DC handled the changing of the guard from Golden Age to Silver Age was when they got ready to bring back the Golden Age characters in Flash number 124, I believe it was, Flash of Two Worlds. They created a parallel world, and that's where all these Golden Age characters come from, is Earth 2, and the Silver Age characters come from Earth 1. But now, since that there are multiple multiverses and parallel worlds, and Marvel has even gotten into act on that. But anyway, that's something we could talk about at a different time. My number 3 on the list, and I think this is just a really cool book, and I always have thought it was Captain America Comics number 3, 1941. The key on this book is it's the first written work by Stan the Man Lee in the comic industry. It's the third appearance of Captain America, third appearance of Bucky. It's the first Red Skull cover, and the second appearance of Red Skull. And a high grade copy of this book is really only $87,000.
Really? For the first
once you
written
get out
Stanley?
of college and you start making all this money, you can buy us this book. How about that?
No. Buy your own stuff.
But anyway, I think it's just really cool. Stan Lee, of course, known for doing so much work with Marvel. To own a copy of his first written work, I feel like that book should be worth more, but we don't know. It doesn't really tell how well this was printed. There may be tons of copies of this book floating around, but I would imagine there can't be that many in high grade. But still, just a cool book, and I like it.
All right, well, my number 2 is All-Star Comics number 30. Came out in 1940, and it was the first team appearance of the Justice Society of America. Now, this team consisted of a whole lot of Golden Age heroes, which I don't really remember a whole lot of them.
Let me see if I can help you out here. I think you've got the Atom. I think you got Green Lantern.
Oh, and speaking of the Atom, this issue was also the third appearance of the Atom.
I think you got. Was this also the first appearance of Wonder Woman in this book?
No.
Okay, maybe it was the one on down from that. But you got Atom, you got Green Lantern, you've got. There was crazy. There was no Batman, no Superman in the original Justice Society. I think you had Sandman. Maybe Dr. Fate was in there, Starman, a lot of the traditional characters. I don't remember Spectre was in there or not, but just a cool book. That's a good one, man. I'm telling you, that one right there is very undervalued. What's the value on that book?
That value is only $85,000.
Yeah. And Justice Society of America has went on and had movies made about them. I just think it's just
eventually got changed to the Justice League, which it consists of many different members.
I guarantee you, if Superman or Batman had been in that original issue there, that book would be worth a lot more money, I think.
Especially Superman, when the new movie came out.
When it was missing those two characters, I just think it just hurts the value of it. But, that's a story for another day. My number 2 is Flash Comics number 1. We just talked about Flash being in this Justice Society. This came out in 1940. This is the first appearance and origin of the Jay Garrick Flash, and also the first appearance and origin of the Carter Hall Hawkman, and the first appearance of Johnny Thunder. And I'm gonna tell you, anybody that knows me knows that my first favorite comic character that I collected, even before Spider-Man, was the Flash, Barry Allen Flash. And I bought a copy of Flash 124. I had a copy of Flash 124, Flash of Two Worlds, and that was just a great book, and it kind of introduced me to Jay Garrick, and then I started reading some of the reprints of the Jay Garrick stories, and I thought they were very cool as well. So I grew up really liking the Flash. It was just one of my favorite books as a kid. I used to just get them every month. It was kind of the first continuous series that I ever read, and I'm just a fan. And a high-grade copy of this book right now is worth $480,000. So this is a very big book.
More than the first Alan Scott Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's a very big book, and it's just one of those deals where, I don't feel like that it probably gets mentioned. It should probably be mentioned more in the Action Comics and Detective Comics realms. But the problem is there hasn't been a good movie of the Flash made yet. If they could ever come out with a good one, maybe this book would go up a little bit.
The movie that came out, which was a while ago, I don't know if y'all agree with me or this or not, but that run animation for that first
it was trash.
Scene, that was so bad. It was so bad.
It was trash.
What kind of run is that?
Yeah.
I don't see anyone running like that. Alright, my number one is Detective Comics number 168, and this was the origin of the Joker, which was the Red Hood at the time. And basically it's said in many different stories, like it's told in many different ways. The most special one being him being the Red Hood and then getting dropped in a vat of acid by Batman, which he didn't mean to. He tried to save him, but he fell in the acid anyway. And then he went on to become the infamous Joker. And I feel like Joker became a really good villain for Batman. I feel like without Joker, Batman wouldn't be Batman.
That's his top villain, And
yeah.
I'm actually impressed with your number one there. You did some research on that one. The old Red Hood, original Red Hood. That's pretty cool. And Red Hood's been brought back even in some of the current.
Well, Red Hood is now Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Most known as Jason Todd, but he used to be the Joker.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That's a cool one. I like that one as well. And I remember reading that story when I was a kid, and I think it was reprinted in one of the 80-page annuals. And I remember thinking, wow, man, that's really cool. I never knew that the Joker had the Red Hood, but I think what happened when he fell in that vat of acid, he had that hood on, and the acid got trapped in his hood or whatever, and he swam through the sewers and got out. And when he got home, I think on the last panel, it shows him taking the hood off, and he's the Joker. He's got this masked face that looks like a clown. So I just thought that was really cool when I was a kid reading that.
And also, this book is very, very undervalued, in my opinion. Only $54,000 as the high grade.
Yeah, that's a good one right there for sure. All right, well, my number one is also in the Batman realm, and it's Detective Comics number 38, 1940. And anybody that collects comics knows this book is the first appearance and origin of Robin, Dick Grayson. And if you read the story, of course, he was with the Flying Graysons. They were a circus act. Bruce Wayne just happened to be attending the circus where the Graysons were, I think they were trying to be blackmailed by some mob boss. They refused to pay him. He sneaks in and puts acid on their trapeze ropes, and the ropes break, and the Graysons fall to their death. And then, of course, Dick Grayson didn't have anybody after that. He was an orphan, and Batman adopted him as his ward and trained him to become Robin after that. But that's just a classic story. Robin, again, as time has went on with Batman,
he then grew to be the famous Nightwing, which he went on to fight crime by himself.
Yeah, and Robin is a symbol. When you see Robin, the first thing you think of is Batman. So you just don't, not what you're saying with the Joker, you don't think about Batman that much without Robin, especially in those early years, in those 50s years when they came with the campy stories and stuff like that in the 60s.
Well, after Dick Grayson became Nightwing, I feel like all the Robins he took in kind of were a little disaster, except Tim Drake. I mean, Tim Drake was a little bit of a disaster because he still had that blood in him from Ra's al Ghul and all of them.
Yeah.
But after he got over it, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like all the other Robins, like Jason Todd.
Jason Todd was the one that was Ra's al Ghul. He was the one put in the Lazarus pit.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
But that's his son.
Yeah.
Tim Drake's his son. He still has like the Ra's al Ghul family blood.
Yeah.
From Talia. That's what I meant by that.
No, you're thinking of Damian Wayne.
I'm thinking of the wrong one. And there's so many Robins. See, there's so many Robins. I can't even keep up with how many.
We're not
there are.
editing this either, so you can
Yeah,
see Willie
this
Moe.
is a blooper.
This is Willie Moe lore right here.
Yeah, this is a blooper. This is a gigantic fail. This is a flop.
You all bombard him now. Tell
No.
him to get on his Robin history before he gets on these videos.
I'm tired of all the Robins. Please just make one and leave it.
All right, well, we've had a good time tonight, guys, and stay tuned for our next top 10. Like he said, it'll be on Silver Age books, and we probably got both of us have a little more knowledge with Silver Age.
I'm done talking about Robin.
But we hope you stay tuned, and if you like our content, please subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned because I believe on the next video we're going to do our great comic giveaway. That'll be probably the third video of the month, which is usually what we do it on. So we will be making an announcement of what comics we're going to be giving away. It'll be a choice between two that you can see, and of course the mystery book, which nobody took the mystery book last time, and so I've carried it over into this month. So will it be picked this month, do you think, Willie Moe?
I don't know. That's why it's a mystery.
It's interesting. The mystery book, it can be something great, so it could be something it's kind of average. You just don't ever know. It's the risk you take. Anyway, we appreciate you watching. We're going to get out of here now, but as always, we end all our videos how we do it.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. We'll see y'all next time on our next Top 10, and see y'all this weekend with our next comic haul. Thanks. See y'all.
Goodbye.